Hey folks, we bought ourselves one of Fireball Tools' forged steel vises, and this is a little review on it. This vise seems to be advertised by Fireball Tool to fit fixture tables or welding tables because of the way that swivel base is designed, but it is first and foremost a bench vise. The vise is not made by Fireball Tool, even though it has their brand here. It's made in Taiwan for Fireball Tool, but they don't actually make it themselves in the United States. And it is suspiciously similar to the Yoast FSV model, which apparently is now discontinued in favor of their new ADI model, which is some sort of special cast iron. I think it's ductile iron. This one here is forged steel, and the foremost advantage of forged steel is that it will not chip like cast iron does, and if you do manage to break it, it is easy to hammer back into shape and to weld it back together. As far as the build quality goes, it is pretty nice. The welds here, they look like they're handmade, but they do have some good penetration, so they're good welds. It has adjustment screws here on the side where you can tighten the gibs and mitigate any wiggle that it might develop. It's an interesting feature. The dynamic jaw does have a little bit of play back and forth, but it's nothing really to worry about. It's minimal. Underneath here on the swivel base, I think this base is cast actually, not forged. I'm surprised it doesn't have any notches, any teeth here, but that's really no big deal. The friction alone will lock it in place once it's tightened up here. The nut inside is held in place by some sort of dovetail and a pin that keeps it from sliding off, and that is what is causing it to have some movement on the dynamic jaw, the fact that the nut is not welded in the body of the vise. But it's there, it's not going anywhere. The way it's mounted just allows it a little wiggle. I don't like that the anvil has such a rough machine surface. I'm gonna have to refinish this, make it properly flat. It's very, very scratched. The jaws open to about 5 1/8 inch, while still having threads fully within the nut. And the jaws do close very nicely parallel to each other. My old vise here, the jaws close one side first. And even putting some torque on it, this side still has a little gap, so yeah, that's a great improvement. Speaking of my old vise, this little thing has served me well over the years, and it's still a good vise, but I needed a vise in the shed there in the backyard, so I got the Fireball one to keep here at the workshop, and this one is gonna go to the shed. I don't like mounting my vise to the table. I like to be able to move them around wherever I might need them. Nothing that I do with them requires them to be attached to an immovable surface. So a clamp alone does the job of holding it in place when I need it. So I like to mount it to a brake disc. It elevates the vise a little, giving it a little bit of clearance. This part here allows me to clamp it in whatever direction to whatever edge of the table that I need it. So I need to get a disc brake for the new one. The best place to find this kind of stuff is the junkyard. This will do, I just have to get it out of here. Now that it's all set, I think this is a wonderful little vise. I'm not gonna try to break it, sorry to disappoint you. For that, Fireball 2 actually has a video where they try to break it. So if you want to see them do whatever it takes to destroy this thing, I'll put a link somewhere. I bought this vise to keep it and to use it. I need it. And at $120 plus shipping at the time of this review, it's the most expensive vise I've ever bought. But I think this thing is actually very good quality, and just basic maintenance and this is going to be around for a very long time. And the vise is absolutely essential to everything I do here, so I'm going to enjoy using it, and I think it's a good quality product. And this one is a huge upgrade from the one I had before. So I hope you found this informative. If you have any questions, any comments, just leave them below. And as always, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.